Good evening, everybody. Let's just start. This is not one of those days that we're going to spend so much time. This class is just going to hold for an hour. So, um, yesterday I think we're almost done. I think we're almost done with everything that we need to do in Power BI, or can I even say we are done? So, we've done our data cleaning with Power Query. We've done our DAX measures and DAX syntax, and we've done our dashboards and visualizations and things like that. So what we're just going to be doing today is just we were building a dashboard yesterday, so just put our slicer. So it's just to a little bit of tips to make your dashboards better. So like I mentioned yesterday, today I'm going to allow for questions starting the class, but I don't know if anybody has questions because most of you guys are not here yet. So I'm just going to let me just share my screen and we'll just we'll proceed from there. So if anybody has questions, someone was asking me when we were about no yesterday we stayed till 8 o'clock yesterday. So where we were about closing yesterday, someone was mentioning something of Excel. I don't know if that person is here. I can't pick the name of that person. So if the person is here, you can ask your question on your you think we were talking about slicers in Excel. So but basically we're building a dashboard yesterday. So yesterday I saved this as class financials and I have this. And we're just gonna put the slicer and just gonna end this. And I'm gonna do some other things just to make this look much better, though it's quite okay, but there are some things you just have to look out for. So far, you have your wireframe, you have what you want it to look like. That's you have your skeletal framework, you have your wireframe, you have your mockup, what you want it to look like. So let me see. I think that dashboard here. Okay, yeah. Okay, I did not select it. So I had the wireframe here. So the only thing that was left was that we wanted to add the slicer. This date slicer by the left, I think. This date slicer by the left. So let me go back to that. Let me go back to that. So basically, adding slicers here is different from Excel. In Excel, you go up and you say insert, or you use your pivots to insert. There's so many ways to insert slicer in Excel. I don't know. So no, here is just the same way you add your visuals. That's the same way you add your slicer. So if you look at here now, okay, let me mention others. Let me mention. I think I've done this in the first class or second class. You can see stacked bar, stacked column charts, clustered bar charts, clustered column charts, stacked bar chart 100%, column chart 100%, line charts, area charts, stacked area charts, line and stacked column chart, line and clustered column charts, ribbon charts, waterfall chart. These are different kinds of visuals. So funnel, scatter charts, pie charts, donut charts. If you check one of my slides, I think the last one, if you check the class notes there, you will see what most of them are used for. Tree map. I just wanted just to mention all of them because I know I'm going to. This is what I'm going to. Yeah, but so tree map, Azure map, gauge, cards, multi-road cards, KPI, slicer, table, matrix, script visuals, Python visuals, key influencers, decomposition tree, Q&A, narrative, goals, paginated reports, card new, button slider. This is also new. ArcGIS for Power BI, Power Apps for Power BI. Those are add-ons. Power Automate for Power BI. So this is what we're looking for. This is what we need. This is our slicer here. So like as usual, let's click that. Or we can drag and drop that, anyone. So I just click that. So I want my slicer by my left here, like what we did there. Let me have it like this. So now what should be in your slicer? Basically slicers are for filters. We all know that. Slicers are for filters, basically. So what should be there? You can have our date there. You can have our product there. So look, let's just put products. But if you look here now, I put date slicer. Let's put product first. Where's our product? So if I put product there, what happens? You can see that's a slicer. This is a slicer. So if I click on Amarilla, you can see that the entire dashboard changed. Everything changed because it's dynamic. This affects all of this. This is profit by month because I'm choosing Amarilla. This is profit by month for Amarilla. Because I chose Amarilla, this is the map for Amarilla. Sum of profits. This is sum of profits according to country for Amarilla. This is the segment and product for Amarilla. So if I choose, let me choose this, you can see. So basically that's it. So I've taken it off. So it has gone back to the way it was. You can even see here, you can see here because we did products and segment here, some of sales by product and segment. All of these have different colors. You can see that the blue is Amarilla, the light blue is Amarilla, the deep blue is government, this one, the deep blue is Patera, this one is Montana, this is Pasio, this is has other names. So why am I mentioning these things? You can see the segment there, government, small business. So for government, this is the sum of sales for each. So if I choose Amarilla here, you notice that Amarilla here is, what's it called? Is light blue. So if I choose Amarilla here, can you see that you will see that it's only light blue that is left here. And that's what we mean by being dynamic. It's dynamic. It's affecting. So if you're going to check probably the sum of sales for Amarilla for governments through government segment, that means bought by government segment. This is it, 9.942. It's 899. So basically, you're answering questions there. So this is product Amarilla. This is product, entire product, VT, Velo, and the rest. So if I want to take it off now, let me take it off. I've taken it off. So I want to put my date there. So I want to put my date there. Let's see. So this date now has all the dates here now. We have Monday, blah, 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 and like that. But I don't want that. So let's go to our settings. This is our filter here. So this is your slicer settings. This is general, this is visuals. So general visual. So slicer setting list. Yeah, you can change it. Let me reduce that. Let me take it from date. Let me take it to product. Because product is not much. So I want to show you how you can change your slicer settings there. So if you are, this is your format, of course. This is your settings. So visuals in general. So in your visual, you have your slicer setting here. It's on vertical. So if you take it to drop down, please look at that left very well. Can I, let me zoom it in. Let's zoom it in. Let's zoom it in so that you guys can see what I'm talking about very well. So this is, we are zoomed in now. So these are the products, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are products. So let's go slicer settings option. We are in the vertical list. Now let's go drop down. Now you can see what drop down gives you. Drop down is very good for one that has a lot of variables. It has a lot of data that is being related to it. That like you have like 20, 50, 100. It won't make sense to put everything on a list here. So you can do drop down. So if you do drop down now, you can see I can choose which I want to choose. This is drop down. So I don't want drop down. Let's choose title. So you can see title now. This is our bottom list. Like it's, let me zoom out. You can see that it looks like a bottom list. If I click Amarilla now, it's going to affect everything. You can see if that's the design you want. For a lot, sometimes these top parts that you have this, our title and our KPIs, you can decide to put this your bottom, this your buttons there as filters. If you increase the size here, Can you see? Can you see? Just change the size the way it is. So if I want to take this now, I just want this to be up. Can you see now? I can drop it up. Like if that is the kind of um if that's the kind of dashboard I want to build. If I want this like this, you can see the filters are in buttons. So why? Just because we changed it to slicer setting to title. I don't want that. I don't want that because we already have an idea that this is what we want to do. So this is either a list or a drop down. Can be any of it. It can even be title, can be button, but I don't want it to be title. So if you adjust this back here now, you have this, which is not making sense to me like that. So let's go back to vertical list. So sometimes you want to put your slicer just up, so you can use your drop down. Very simple like that. So we're still on vertical list. So you can see your selections. Now you can decide that you want it to select multiple select. So you can allow multiple selections. But if you say you don't want that, you just want a single select, you can just take that off. So holding down control, if I hold down control now, I'm selecting multiple select. So I held control and I'm clicking it. Can you see? I'm selecting almost everything because I have multiple select on. So I can multi-select the check boxes. Can see when control command is clicked. So if you guys are using the camera does not work on Apple, so I don't need to mention that. So let's just take that. Let's take all of that off. So you can see multi-select. So you can decide to just do a single select. A single select means no matter what you do, it's just gonna be a single select. So let's just leave that then. So your slicer header, I can leave it there if I want. You can take it off. You can bring it back on. You can change it. You can change the font, the format, the sizes, and stuff like that. I want to change this now. Let me change this to 20. Let's see. So I just changed the title to 20. Can you see that it's big now? So I think that's fine. So you can change the color. Though make sure you're using your theme that you're using or your design concept that you're using matches each other. You can't come here and change this one to red now and leave all those ones at black. It doesn't make sense. So if you say, okay, I want to change this to red and I'm leaving all those ones at black, it doesn't make sense. So let's go back there. You have your text, you have your text, you have your background. This is the best one because it's not using the background, the canvas for it. Or if you say no, you don't want that, you want to change your background. Let's go here. That's for the title anyway. So let me go back. Still loading because I just went back. Okay, so that works. So that's just for title and stuff like that. This all of that. Then you have your values down here. You can see your values. Same thing. If I increase my values now, 120. Can you see how big it got? So you can do that. Then your padding. I mentioned padding yesterday. The space between top, right, left. Make sure your paddings are consistent all through. Make sure your padding is consistent. Padding is very, very essential. Padding and margins are very, very essential because it determines how it looks. It looks better. So paddings are the spaces, the four corner spaces, while margins are the spaces in the middle, the spaces between each visuals. The spaces, these spaces now, those are your margins. These are your paddings. So where were we? Values. So we have the values, we have borders. So you can just play around with this. You know, we have done a lot of visuals and format visuals, so you know how it looks generally. So your properties, your heights, your title, your effects, background. If I change this now, change this to red, you can see. But if I'm changing this to red, I've changed this to white because it's not making sense. in red and black. So go back there. That's my background, my visual border. Shadow. Shadow is very essential. And sometimes you just want it in your design concept anyway. So if I go shadow on, it's gonna, you can see it looks as if that entire visual is lifted out of the dashboard. That's what shadow does essentially. Shadows give this visual effect of it being almost 3D. Let's use 2D anyway. You can see that it's out. It has this shadow by the sides, and you can do your shadow settings outside, inside, bottom right, bottom left, and if I do inside shadow, you can see it's inside, but we hardly do that. Usually outside anyway. So let me just take that off. That's shadows. So your data format. So apply settings to products. You can see your format, texts, and the rest. And other icons, alternative text, and the rest. So if I go here now, if I go to this profit, if I go there now and I go visuals now and I go to, I've not selected this. So wallpaper, no, not my wallpaper. Now I mentioned something. I wanted to do something the last time. That okay, if you all right. So I was mentioning something about the paints and stuff like that here, but let me finish with this first. So if I select this now, let me select. I'm trying not to select inside this, so that I don't select the stuff here. So if I go general effects and I take my shadow on, so you can see what it looks like having my shadow on. Can you see that this is different from this square thing? It's different. You can see the way it is. It's different from that square this thing that is just square there, and it's just there. So that's what that does. Shadow is very nice, very, very nice if you know how to use it. Just play around with it and you'll be fine. So I wanted to, okay. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go to selection pane. Now, I will tell you why. That is like if you go to your view, and go to selection here. If I go selection, you can see the layout order. See, you can see this. Let me take it off. That's what I say I wanted to show you guys today. One of the things I want to show you guys today. If you go to your view, your view, you can get your grid lines, your all of this. But if you go to selection, this selection, you say manage visibility and layering order of objects in your report. Sometimes when you are finding it difficult to select a visual or to move a visual around or to put one in front and one at the back. Like now, if you're trying to send this, remember yesterday that this blue part is actually a shape that we send to the back just to give you this layout. If you are finding it difficult to move around to hold or touch or something like that, go to your selection. Selection gives you the order, the layout order of all these things. So slicer is up. There's nothing at that slicer part, so it won't show the difference of what I'm trying to do. But let me use text box. Let me click text box. What does it select? So this text box now is the text box for my title. So it's the text box for my title. That's the text box for my title. I can hide it. Can you see that hiding that text box? I can show it back. So it depends on what you want to do. But that's not. See this. This is the shape now. That's the shape there. This shape here. I can hide that shape. You see, when I hid that shape, it has taken is off that background. So if I show that shape back now, it's back there. Now, another thing you can use this for is, sometimes you don't want to cancel any visuals. You don't want to cancel, you want to remove it, you just want to hide it because you want to work on it later. You can hide it and export whatever you want to export. So this one I want to do now. Let's take this first. Card. These are the two cards. You can remember these are the two cards. You can see that it's going off. Now, this shape now is underneath the card. That simply means that the shape will be at the back and this card's at the top because the shape is underneath the card. Now, let me take this shape. Let me take it up. I've taken it up now. Can you see now that the shape has covered the card? Do you understand what I'm saying now? The shape now is covered because the shape is above the cards. Now the cards should be up instead of going to send to the back that we're doing yesterday. We're doing send it to the back or something like that. Okay, let me see if I can send this to the back from here and see the effects. If the effect will turn up here. Modeling. That's your format. That's your format. So now let's see if you can send this to the back. Let me send to the back. Send to the back. Can you see now when I sent to the back, it changed here. The shape came down, came underneath everything because I sent it to the back. So now if I want to take it off, I just want it to be above. You can do this. So use your layer order. Many a times when you have a lot going on, use this to sort yourself out. So let me just take this back here. It's under now. So if I say, okay, I want to bring to the front, you can bring to the front here. You can bring forward or bring to the front, anyone you want to do. Anyway, so I want it at the last part. So that is for the selection pane. Let me take this off. My view, a selection pane. Let me take it off. Another thing you can do is if you can click this. So it will always be there, but it won't be disturbing you. You can just collapse it, you can collapse all of this. Even this, you can collapse it. So it writes all of that there. You can collapse that there. So you can see the way your dashboard is going to look like. So you can, if you want to bring it back, you can bring it back like this. But if you don't want the selection pane, you can just take it off. So it goes off. So you can do fit to page. This is gonna how it's gonna look like in fit to page anyway. So that's basically that's basically it. So if I go back to, I want my selection pane to be there. I use it a lot. So if I go back to that selection pane now and I click on profit by month, I don't need to go and be dragging or be clicking on profit, because if you're not careful, if you click this now, you're not clicking profit by month. If you click this, because it's dynamic, you have affected the results, which you don't know because you have clicked in. You can see that this bottom part changed. This because now you were not planning to affect the results. What you had planning to do was to select profit by month, the visuals. But because you clicked inside now, it has affected the rest. So you won't know that you have affected everything. Let's go back. So I'm back in the normal one. So instead of that, just go and click your profit by month in your selection pane. Power BI have started loading. Okay, I think it's back now. Okay, finally I think it's back. So if I go back to my profit by month, I've selected my profit by month. So you can see that there. So if I want to move it, I can move it. Let me select that now. You can affect it. You can see once selected, it affects it. So you can do all your filters. You can do your filters and all of that. So let me just take this off. Let me just click out here. Just like this. Let's go back. Let's go back to our data. So I'm not using this for my visuals. I want to use my dates. I want to use my dates. So let me take this off. I can go my selection. I can click my, what's it called? My slicer. So I can take it off the product. Let me use my year. So I can use my year as my date. If you're not doing that, let's go to my date here. Date hierarchy gives me the year. I can pull it down. Just pull it down. So this is what I wanted to do. This is what I want to do here. This is what I want to do. If I pick my dates, if I pick my dates here now, pick my dates here. You can see dates. The field is dates, but I don't want that. I want to show my date hierarchy. So I want my date hierarchy like this. Now I don't want year. That's why you don't want year. If I take off year, I have quarter. If I take off quarter, I have month. So for the month of January, this is all that happened. If you take that off, because it's multiple select, you can say control January, February, March. That's it. So it's dynamic. It's dynamic. So you have that. What you just do is you go to your fields settings, and let me now show all settings on my field. Let me show all levels. I want to show all levels. I want to show all levels. So I don't want quarter. I don't want month. You can cancel this, and leave year alone. But you want to go back to the rest, just drop down, show all levels. So you can see it there. So I don't want a year there. I want the year there. Yeah, no. I'm just at quarter. So that's it. So that's basically it on Slicer for this. So your Slicer is just you using your Slicer visuals. So this is Slicer here. That's Slicer there. So we can use that. Do you have any question? Any question at all? And you can go and do your visuals and change everything. If you want to change your background, for those that like dark colors, we have talked about it before. If you like dark color, just make sure you select out. Then go to your page info. You can change your canvas background. So now the former one is canvas, but this one is the updated one now does wallpaper instead of canvas. So we do wallpaper. For those that like dark colors, or note that if you're going to use, okay, let's try. Let's use this now. I'm just going to use. I'm not fancying it, but let's just use this now. So remember now that this one now you can decide the size too of this. Let me go here first. Size. So I want to make it match. I want to make my slicer match my this thing so that I have my space up there. Even this one, I don't like this there. I don't like it's too big. My margin. So I want to reduce it like this. So we can see now that there's a consistency here, and you have almost the same consistency here. So what was I planning to say? Okay, I was saying, okay, if you change all of this to red, you can this does not look it anyway, but you have to make the rest match it. So now you can either go to your view and go to your teams. This is your current team. You can go and check other teams and see the way it's going to look like. So if I do this, if I do this, this is how it's going to look like. And try other teams. Accessible Tidal. So can you see different teams? So there are the dark teams here that you don't need to put the color up. So if I go there, if I go here now, you can see this team now. This is a team. Probably has done it again. So that's the team. What else you can do is you can go to your drop down your team, drop down, and go down. You go to customize current theme. So if you click on customize current theme, it's still loading. It will show you your primary colors. That means for your text, probably because everything is dark, you can change your color from here. There's every text that you do give you white. Your visuals, you can change your background. I don't want it at white. I want it, because I'm using blue, I want it at a light blue, sort of light blue. And pick your color. Let's apply that. The light blue is there. You can see the light blue. You can see these are light blue now. These are, but the transparency is low. Let me go back to my thing. My transparency is low. Customize current theme. So I was in where? I was in visuals. Let's see, training guide out. So if I go transparency high, if I let me just my transparency 99%. Let's see how that's gonna look. Can you see? So the reason why you had that then was because the transparency was low. Map has a lot of things going. That's why map is not changing much. Well, you can see that transparency, yeah, is high. I'm telling you to override it. So if I go back to my custom theme, just scroll down, custom theme. So for those that like dark colors and I feel like, oh, I saw what this guys did. I want the same. I want it to look like that. Let me just drop my transparency to 40%. Let me apply that. Let's see what we have. So if you are doing this, you know that you are changing your text to white. Because this black is not given on it. So those are just tips in making your you can save your current theme anyway, but I'm not saving it. Just to make it better, so you can change your text to white. Let's just calculate white. Apply. Text general white, title white. General should apply that. My cards and KPIs white. Okay. And the last one there, I want to pick is waiting, is applying my settings. You know, I've changed the titles and everything white. You can see the white. I have to finish my white settings anyway. Customize gallery, my text, my tab headers. Yeah, I want it as white too. I'm just showing guys how you can make it better, how you can make it different, how you can do whatever you want to do. So that's just it basically. So your text, your visuals, your page, your filter pen, everything you can change. And you can change your theme colors here too. Your theme colors, you can change it here. So let me just cancel this. This is not giving for me. I don't like the colors, but not showing guys. So another thing you can do is you can create your custom. I didn't create a custom for this class, but I'm gonna use one that I have here. This one that I did for my, what's it called, for my wireframe. I'm gonna use it as my background. People do this a lot. They design the background that they want, either in PowerPoint, in Photoshop, in whatever, and they bring it into Power BI. So we're gonna do that. So if you go to, make sure you click out first. Click out. Yeah. So you clicked out. That means you are clicking on the canvas. So if you go there, you see wallpaper here. So let me check my canvas background. So wallpaper here. Let's bring in an image. This is it. Let's bring in an image now. Cancel this. I'm removing that. So I want to bring in my image. Is the image that covered that color? The image is on Power BI. That one is on Power BI. Is what I covered that color. So I want to bring this dash in. So if I put open, you can see the dash in. You can see that dash in. Now let me see. Let me go to my selection. Okay, my click out. I want to make my image fit. So that's it. So my image fits. Let me fit it. Can you see? So you can fill it as fill. You can fit it. Now, this is not going to make sense. It's not going to make sense because I did not make that image the image size. I did not design this for the image. I was just showing you guys how to bring in your images in. But if you are going to create an image, let me just go back to this thing so I can eliminate that image. If you're going to create an image, check your canvas size. Check your canvas size. Check your visuals size so that when you create an image, my Power BI is still loading because I've changed it to that thing. I'm probably still applying this anyway. So, well, let me just show what I'm talking about. Check your canvas size. If I click out now, I'm going here now. My canvas settings is 16:9. 16:9 is height 720, width 1280. So if you are creating any image that will fit this canvas size, that means you are using 720 and 1280 pixels. Now, you're not a graphic person, you're not a design person. It does not, all of this though, you don't need it. What you have in Power BI is enough to sort all of this. Or some people or few people want to go to the extremes. Then go and create your image, your canvas settings. You can see it here now. So that's it. You can see your canvas settings, so you can bring in your wallpaper and like that. You can change all of that. So then secondly, now go and check your sizes of all these things. Now, if I click on, let me use selection. Let me take this off. Take this off. Let me use selection. If I click on profit by month, which is this, if I go to my visuals, here we go. My format. So I click on where's it? Okay, my visual settings, general, properties. So let me go back on. If you click on any of your dashboards, look at the properties. This is 290,404. That means the space you are going to create for this in your image that you are bringing in has to be 290,404 or bigger if you want. So if I go to map now, let me go to my map, which is my profit by country. If I go there and I go to my general and I check my properties, 290,411. Is that even the same thing? So let me make everything the same. Let's make it 290,400. So if I go here, that segment anyway. If I go profit by month, I may be taking a bit longer in this class. Apart from my normal, what I mentioned as my 1 hour, I may do more than that anyway. So profit by month, format page. Where am I? Profit by month. Okay. Profit by month, my format visuals, my general, my properties, 290,400. Let's make it 294,400. You can see. So if I press enter now, it has changed to 294,400. So if I go to my sum of profit by country and I go my general, I go my properties, 290,400. Many times when you're going to make more, just make sure those dimensions are the same, except you're using another dimension entirely, like this big one now. I wanted it like that. But if you're using small dimensions, make sure it's the same thing. So if you're creating your visuals now, you know that for this one now, this is the height and the width. Now, if I go to my shape, for this space now, If I go my general now, you know this is what you're going to create as your height and your width. All right. Do you have any questions so far? Is the Excel person here? Person that was asking me Excel yesterday, is the person here now? Please, I can't see attendance. Ebuka, if you can't see my screen, it's because of your network, not mine. Please, the attendance have not been done. Attendance link have not been posted. So you can, so that people can view the attendance. So let me take questions. The person that, oh, okay. So it's Festus that asked me yesterday. Okay, so Festus, you can open your mic. You're asking me. Okay, let me wait. Festus, hold on, please. Let me take questions on Power BI first before I address what the issue you're having with your own exam. So let me take Power BI questions first before I take Festus' question. So does anybody have any questions so far? Do you have questions? This is ugly. I don't like this. This is not it's not it. It's not it. Let me take that red off. That red is not it. For me, oh, it's not it's not it. I prefer this than that red. That red is not it. Just show you guys how to work with that. Anyway. So does anybody have questions before I take okay, so Okunlala, yeah, Okunlala, please you can.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, I want to ask, like, you see, I was trying to load what that skills data set I used the last time. I was trying to load it
Mm-hmm.
on Power BI and it was not opening. And I opened other ones and they were opening. So I want to ask, is it possible like if there's a particular data set that is too much to open on Power BI or is it
No,
just my system or something? I don't understand.
no, there's no particular data set. Any data set, no matter how heavy it is, can you can open it on Power BI. Now, Power BI has so many ways you can get data. Like now, I was working on a data this week. Now, I did not use Excel. I was using WebLink. It has so many ways. In fact, if you click more now, you have a lot. So it's not really about your file format. But what you should check is I hope that format, if it's Excel, I hope it's XLS, which is normal Excel file, XLX. So I hope it's that because there was this data set I sent. I think the Cablu Super Store. I sent it twice. The first time I sent it, it was the old version of Excel. I had to change it to into the present version and for it. So I think probably that data
Yeah,
set
I
is
think it is
heavy.
that one because
The Superstore
okay.
bar. If it's the sample
Yeah,
Superstore, that one, if it's that one, use the second one, not the first one.
yeah.
The second one, if you check one of my uploads,
Okay,
I
okay.
uploaded the second one. Or you save as. When you open that data in Excel, you save as.
Yeah.
So you save it as SLX. You save it as the normal version, Excel version, the present one. So it will work. So just save it as the present Excel version and it will work. I think that's what you're having a challenge with. Let me
Yes, sir.
stop sharing my screen. All right. So, but if even if you are using a heavy data set, just hold on for it. Power BI can be very funny sometimes. Just hold on for it to finish and it will work, it will be fine. So XLSX. That's very funny. So that's Excel files. Power BI is PBIX. That's Power BI file. So Power BI
Okay,
can
sir.
load
Thank
as many formats as you can. All right, you're welcome. Another person on Power BI before I address Festus on Excel, I think. Deniji, you want to have my details? I think I've mentioned this several times. You guys can speak to me on the portal to contact me. I'm always I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I want to drop my details. I'll let you know. Okay. Sign attendance. The admin will talk about that. You have encountered that in Power BI. Just wait for it to load. If your file format is correct, You wait for it to load. It can be your system is slow, and that's why you're having that challenge. So that's that. So let me just take first two question before everybody start thinking of their challenge in Power BI, and let's answer those questions. And let's do that. So first is what was the issue?
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
It was about Slicer. I said I was trying to add Slicer to my dashboard, but I don't know what I didn't do right. I don't know. I don't know if I wasn't using the maybe I don't know if there is a particular kind of data that I can use on Slicer, or I don't just know what I did that wasn't right. So, but it's
So
not.
finding that data, let me see if I can open any. Let me see if I can open. Let me see if I can open any data sets. Can someone remind me which data set I used to teach pivot? Don't worry, don't worry. We don't even. I will just use what I have here. So let me open a data set. I'm just going to do that quickly. I open financials data sets. So far that data has multiple variables or multiple details. You can use Slicer. So Slicer is just like filter basically. So let me just open financials data set. Then this financials data set. This is table. This is one I used for Power BI now. So this is it in Excel. Okay. There are a lot of ways to add slicers. A lot of ways to add slicer. So you can go to insert. You can see slicer here. So if it's a table, you can use slicer here. What you do is probably change your data to a table, and I've done that so many times. Just select all and insert as a table. This is a table already, that's why it's not giving you that. Anyway, I've done that several times. So once you do that, make sure it's a table, then just go slicer here. So this is slicer. So if I want to do slicer by product, let me click OK. You can see my slicer here. So the same way I was doing. So if I do Amarilla, or what is this? Carretera Montana, this is slicer. See. Now that's normal normal slicer. You can copy it to your dashboard or something. So now let me just remove this. Let me remove this. I can cut it also. Let me just remove that. Now, if you're not doing that, let's go to pivot. If you click all, you insert and you go to pivot. There's pivot table. So new worksheet, financials, yes, fine. So this is pivot table now, which I taught you two methods of dashboard in Excel. Pivot was one of it. So if I go my products now, this is my product, so pivot. Now, if you check table analyze, okay, this pivot table analyze. Now let me do one. Let me do, there are two methods here. You can see under pivot table analyze, you can see slicer. Oh, I'll click that. You can see slicer here. Insert slicer. Insert slicer. So if I insert slicer here now, it's giving me the same thing. Products, probably products. Okay, you can see that slicer there. Now I don't want to do that. That's a method. Another method, let me just go back. Another method is if you right click here now, right click your fields, you can see add a slicer. So if you add a slicer, that's it there. So let me just delete that. So basically, those are different methods of doing slicer. So you can do it on that pivot table analyze here. You can see it here, insert slicer on the pivot table analyze. So you can right click your fields, add a slicer, whichever way you want to do. And if you don't want to go to pivots, you can be on your table, your normal table, which is sheet one here, and just go to insert. Where is it? Table design. I've clicked, what's it called? Insert slicer. You can see slicer there. So that should sort out your issue. Just make sure your data is a table. Change it to a table and use slicer in any format or any form. So I think that's fine. Okay, so other questions. Do anybody have any other question? Okay, so let me still share my screen. Can I still shared? So I'm loading my Power BI back. So I have this here now. This is what we did. You can get better. You can get better. This is not my. You can get better. You guys can make it better the way you want it to be better. This is just a simple one, and I showed you guys some tips to make it better if you want to. Like for the people that like designs a lot among you guys. So let's just go to file. Let's export it. So you can export as PDF, export as Power BI templates. If I do export as PDF now, I have that. It's loading as PDF. Okay. So this is it exported as PDF. You can see it. This is it as PDF. That's a dashboard as PDF. Now let me just answer that. So you can export as Power BI templates. All of those things. Why is this one? So you can, that's it. So export. Go to your home tab. Click and export. You can do save as. That one is different. You can do save as. So if you do save as, you only save as PBIX, which was Power BI, so not that. So you can export it. Then you can publish it. So publish to Power BI. You have an account, publish to Power. I didn't sign in here. So publish to Power BI. You can download as an image, as anything like that. So you can also share. If you click on the share, you can put the email of the person you want to share with. That person can work on your Power BI. So you can share Power BI desktop and Power BI services work better together, signing to enhance the collaboration and access potential content. So you can share with emails. So that's the way you can share your work. You can publish, you can share as a Power BI template, you can share as on emails and stuff like that, things like that. So that's it. So you have those here, publish, share, and the rest. Do we have other questions? Let me see. Please, the Excel dashboard assignment, when are we to submit? Which dashboard assignment? Excel dashboard assignment. Did I give an Excel dashboard assignment? I don't think so. If I gave an Excel dashboard assignment, you'll have seen the timeline. I didn't give you an Excel dashboard assignment. I gave two things on the Excel. I intentionally didn't give you dashboard assignment. I gave two things on the Excel: the cleaning and the questions, the functions. Yes. But because of some of you guys on Power BI, I did not give an assignment because it was intentional. So you guys will have your Power BI assignment tomorrow. Okay, no, I didn't give because some people were catching up with the classes and it was overwhelming for them. So just did not give a dashboard assignment there because I've showed you guys how to do different kind of dashboards. You guys can do it on your own. Just get time. Or you get your Power BI assignment tomorrow. It's going to involve clean and it's going to have a dashboard. Any dashboard you feel like doing. That's what I'm going to give you guys to just do tomorrow. I'll drop that tomorrow after class. So do you have any other question? Any other question? Any other question? For those that are catching up with classes, those that are not catching up with classes, do we have questions? So I can just take that. On Power BI, if you have any question on other things,
Sorry,
you can ask a question too. Yeah, won't you?
I want to ask a question on Excel.
Okay.
So is it possible for us to use like the same arguments and get different results? Because when you were doing the review of the assignment you gave us on Excel, there was this particular one. I think it was the number of female residents that
I
earn more
know where
than
you're going to.
10,000.
I know where
Yeah,
you're going
so
to, and it's possible.
I did it.
Why is it possible?
Okay, it's possible.
Mm.
I don't know
It's
because I
possible.
was
And let me tell you
confused.
why it's possible. I
You
mentioned it
got
even when I was doing
one
review.
answer.
Why it's possible. 1 greater or equals to 1 is the same thing as greater than 0. Greater or equals to 1, which is greater than 1 or equals to 1, simply means 1 upward. It's the same thing as greater than 0. Greater than 0 is also 1 upward. So if one person use greater or equals to 1 is the same thing as somebody else using greater than 0. So it's different, but it's the same thing. So it's possible for things like that. And that's why your results are the same thing. So I think that's why I did variations. I think in some places I just use greater than, some places I use greater or equals to. So it depends on what your values are, what you are using. So it's the same thing. Like that. All right. Does that clarify it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Thank you,
does
sir.
anybody have any other question? I think we have done a lot. We've done, in fact, tomorrow class now, I just have to do some other tips. We've done almost everything I can do here. So, okay, what I'm going to do tomorrow is that I am going to answer questions, analysis questions from, let's use financial reports. So I'm going to create analysis questions that you will use, or do I take that as assignment? No, let's do it. Analysis questions that you will use, you will answer via your dashboards. Let me say this first, so I can use this tomorrow. I'll just say that. So that's what I will do, because tomorrow I'm supposed to do finish up dashboard. I don't finish dashboard. So I'll do analysis questions. You can answer with your report. So let me do this. Power BI dashboards. I'll give you guys links to have templates and samples of Power BI dashboards. I'll give you guys links on how to all manners. I'll give you guys link on how to do mockups. So that's it basically. What I'm doing now is I want to run through. Okay, I'm gonna do this tomorrow too. Links to different ones. So I want to show you guys different dashboards, and we'll look at it together and we'll explain what is this. So that makes you understand a little bit more about dashboards. This booking overview. This is a title. This is a title. These are image. Okay, let's bring in an image. Let's bring an image. So you can see image here now. And I've done this in Excel. I've told you guys in Excel. I've shown you guys how to remove the background of an image. It doesn't make sense many a times when you bring in images that have backgrounds. It's better you bring in images that are PNG images. So much better. So you can bring in an image. I don't think I have an image prepared. Okay, let's bring in that image, that dashboard image that we had there. Let's bring in this. So if I bring in an image now, let's bring it in. So I have it here. Like if I make it smaller, yeah, I can make it smaller, and that's it. So images are like, okay, now like financial reports now, I can bring in a dollar sign or a money sign for financial reports and put it at the left. So that's basically it. So you have your style, you have your actions, you have your general properties, effects, and the rest. And if I right click that, you have that. So that's what. Let me leave it for now. So insert, you can insert text box, buttons, shapes, images. So we are running through general Power BI online and see what did that person do. So this is basically an image. This person brought in an hotel management image here. It's a circle image. He brought it in. This is text box. Text box. These are buttons. These are buttons. These are buttons. So this image text box. This is a shape. This is a shape. This is a blue shape. It puts the text on it and send the shape to the back. And this is also a navigation icon, is an image. Okay, KPI, 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 KPI. A funnel. This looks like what? This chart this is both line and let me show you guys that. Let's go look. Here's my data. Here's my data. Yeah, my formats. Still an image. Let me take it out. Okay. So scattered chart and line. That's what you used there. So this funnel. That's funnel. The rest there. Anyway, where are we? So then we have that. Then we have a donut here. So this is what this person did. He made sure his color composition was blue, and it works for the KPI. And this funny looking KPI too up here. That's what the person basically did. This is not clear enough, but this is title. This person made his wallpaper, which used to be canvas. He made his canvas. But by just scattered that by separating it anyway. So made it this gradient color and brought in this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 visuals, line, chart, bar chart, donut, bar chart. Put KPIs up here with cards, put buttons here with cutters. This slicer, this slicer. This quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, that's slicer. So if you're gonna do that, you're gonna do that here. Just pick your slicer and go to your, I've done this already. Slicer settings, take it off and take it to tar. So that's what the person did. He just made sure his tar was up here. This is what he did. So, but because it's 4, this is much now. Because it's 4. If I take that off, if I say I don't want I don't want that data. So if I take date off here, and I show products. That's products. Products is not much. Okay, product is much, like 6. So that's what that person basically did. So did all of that and that. So this person, let me see if I can visit it. And this image is not clear enough. But if I through this same thing as all the stuffs here, this is a table here, a table. You use the table there. It's a table in the middle. So table can look amazing sometimes, it can look good sometimes. So just use your tables. You can see your table here. You can just use your table. Table shows you, but it's better to have tables of no more than probably 10 lines or 5 lines. Depends on what you want. So 5 lines is okay for those tables. What's that dashboard I'm looking for? This is simple dashboard. This is filter. So this is a drop-down filter, a drop-down. This is a drop-down filter with a title, with titles. This is image, text box. These are filters, are buttons, KPIs, change color, whatever. Yeah, I think this is what I came here for. No, it's not the one. So this is this, he used the donuts for the KPIs instead of cards. Cards are always the best one, but he used the donuts and the legends are on, the labels are on. Yes, so clustered bar charts line, this area. So I think is why we came here. Okay, so he uses line and area for his KPI here, and he used the KPI card, not the card. There's another one. There's another one. This is it here. KPI. If I click that now, let me go to my selection pane so I can know what is what. So let me, if I hide that, that's the image. If I hide, what was this? This was my filter, my slicer. What was this? I don't remember what that is. So let me just hide the rest. Probably I said I should go slow. I'm disturbing it too much. Okay, there's nothing here, so let me just get it back. There's nothing there. So let me bring back. Where's my KPI? I think that was it. And that's why there was nothing there. So if I take my KPI, drop my KPI here now. That's it. So let's take our unit sold. Data trends. You can see if you scroll down here, you can see trend axis, add data fields here. So what should I bring from my units sold? Let's see. Let me drop my profit. So this is my profits. I don't want. You can just play around with this, work with your values. These are values, these are the target values. So what's my target value? You have to create a measure for my target value. Like what are we aiming to get to? So whether you are aiming to get to 1 million and what have you got into? So it gives you this. Let me go back there. It gives you this. So sales trend is this bar, but there's spacing in between. So this is a table, this is a table, this is a table. This person that did this had worked enough on Power BI to do the different variations. These are variations. These are variations that he has worked on. So that's just basically it anyway. So let me check if there's any question, and we close for tonight. Okay. The wireframe we did yesterday, which app did you use to do that? I think I used, I'm coming, David. I just used normal, what's it called? Normal paints on your system. You can use to draw normal paint on your system. So that works for it. But I also gave you guys something, a website, mockup.ai, to do your normal mock-up wireframe, proper wireframe. Or if you don't want to stretch yourself, just do draw shapes in paint and do insert text box to write what you want. So that's fine. David, can I have you?
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Please, I want to ask, since I've been coming for classes, I've not signed attendance form. I don't know.
I think this is the only day that attendance was not dropped. Let me see if the admin is here. Don't undo attendance. Don't undo attendance. I think the admin is not here. I don't undo attendance. So, but you can drop it on your platform. Just drop it on your WhatsApp platform. That you have not been able to sign attendance. So basically, I think she's out now. I don't know. So I don't undo attendance. But I think she's out now. But I think this is the only day that the attendance was not dropped, because usually it's always pinned. So you can just see it pinned. It's usually pinned. I can pin mine now because I have access to pinning. So it's usually pinned. So, or you can drop it on platform.
But all those classes that I've attended and I've not signed, is there any way I can update my attendance?
You can't update your attendance because you did not sign. So you did not sign. But we are just starting August. This thing ends at the end of the year.
Okay.
So if you attend class regularly, you catch up with the percentage of attendance. Definitely. Just attend classes regularly.
Okay.
We have only done 2 months. Yeah, so you still have so many months to go. All right, you're welcome. All right, I think that's the end of today's class. It's the end of today's class. So we've done Power BI to where Power BI gets to, and I've answered just some few questions on Excel and challenges. So I want you guys to prepare your questions. So that we can be on the same page. So far, so good. What are the challenges? If you do not practice, you would not encounter challenges. You would not encounter challenges. So practice more. Get data sets from Kaggle. Get data sets online. Different data sets are online. And then from your Kaggle is there. You are someone that one's there. And I use Kaggle a lot, so keep saying Kaggle. So, and you can also use the ones I've sent. I've sent some understanding of some calculations. So I've sent some data sets. You can use the Tableau data set of Superstore, the stable set of sales, data set of finances, You can use those huge data sets to do anything. So you can get that. First of all, let me have you as the last person before I go. First of all, you're saying understanding some of the calculations. Which calculations? Excel calculations or what calculations? Oh, you're talking of DAX.
It was, I
First
think
us.
it was this. Yes, I think it's. I know there is one calculation that I was trying to. You were trying to calculate some of those. What is it called? Okay, basically, what I would like to ask is, there's a data set that you used in making some calculation. You were trying to calculate stuff like what is it called? I've forgotten exactly what you were calculating, but
Is it Excel?
yes, it was in Excel, and you're
Was
calculating.
it functions? Was
You
it
used
functions?
functions. You used some functions actually, and some formulas in getting those things. But I know that I think you were trying to
Okay.
average products, all this kind of. There were some of those calculations that I just that
Okay.
basically has to do it. So I wanted to really ask to bring out, because there's a way you arranged the stuffs before you brought him to the class. So I've been wondering how you're able to extract those information to arrange them in that manner so that it will be easier to calculate.
Okay. I think I'm not getting what you're saying 100%, but I think you are saying probably some calculations I did. Examples of even your assignments or calculations in the assignments that I did like that. So what I just did was just to write what I was trying to get, the goals, what I want to get, and I put calculations underneath it. Now for the other ones, I created different sheets for different things I was going to address. So then there's reference cells. You can reference your cells on your sheet or you go to another sheet to reference that cell. I've done that, I think, probably one of the Excel weeks. So you can just go through that Excel lecture again, especially the part that you're talking about. So if you don't still get what you're talking about, you write it out. Like I'm very sure of what you want to ask me and tell me this particular data set is where that problem is. This is what you did. Then I will go back and show you what I'm talking about. So you get. All right. Okay. All right, guys. So we see tomorrow by 6 p.m. That will be the last day for Power BI. From there, we'll go to, I think Luca is next. Yeah. So last day of Power BI is tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your weekend and have a great day. Stay safe, guys. Bye.